The Iowa caucus is in one day, and we have our final Iowa poll that shows Donald Trump is maintaining a dominant lead going into the caucuses. What is up, people of the internet? It is me, Real American, back in with a new video today. It is time that we talk about the 2024 Republican presidential primary. Because as most of you probably know, tomorrow is the day we have all been waiting for. The 2024 Iowa caucuses. Yeah, we're finally here. The day we've all been waiting for. It's been a long wait, but here we are. Now, with it being the Iowa caucus tomorrow, we're getting our final polls released by all the major pollsters. And the final Iowa poll from the quote-unquote gold standard in Iowa has just been released. So I want to take one final look at the Iowa poll to see what's being said, what the numbers are looking like, the enthusiasm gap, etc., etc. Now, before we continue with today's video, I hope you enjoy these type of videos. If you do, smash the like button down below, subscribe, share with your friends, hit that little bell, follow the social media accounts in the description down below, and of course, join the channel today. Guys, just for $1 a month, you can join Real American. This is the best way to support the daily content that we all know and love. So I hope and recommend you join the channel today. Now, I want to be clear about one thing. I am not saying that secretly there's data here that shows Trump is going to lose or anything like that. Let's face it. Trump is going to win the Iowa caucus. He is. It's just a matter of A, how much, and B, who takes second. That's what this video is about. So that's why I'm making it. There's no conspiracy that secretly Trump is down in the poll and you're just coping or whatever. That's not happening. So let's get into it. Boosted by his standing with evangelical Christians, first-time caucus goers, and registered Republicans, former President Donald Trump holds a nearly 30-point lead in the final NBC News/Des Moines Register/Mediacom Iowa poll before Monday's GOP caucuses. Yep. He is leading with evangelicals by a lot. First-time caucus goers by a lot. And registered voters by quite a bit. And this is what I gotta tell people, before we even continue. This is why he's up by, 30 points? The top line, he's at 48%. When you're doing good with all three of these groups, first-time caucus goers, evangelicals, registered Republicans, you're going to win the Iowa caucus. You just mathematically are. There's not enough, liberals to vote in it. There's just not. Plus, the DeSantis campaign banked everything on these evangelicals. And it's one of Trump's best groups. So, they work out for them. The poll also finds Trump enjoying the backing of the most enthusiastic and committed likely caucus goers, which could be crucial as the state grapples with sub-zero temperatures and even colder wind chills on caucus night. The poll also shows former UN Ambassador Nikki Haley narrowly edging past Florida Governor Ron DeSantis for second place, although the gap is within the poll's margin of error. So the poll has Nikki Haley in second place. We have seen basically every poll the past week show this, that she is in second place and DeSantis, he's cratering. This is a disaster for him. I don't care who you are. This is why you do not overpromise what you're going to do. Remember what DeSantis said? We're going to have a strong showing in Iowa. We're going to win the Iowa caucus. If you're down by 4 or 5, okay, fine. That's reasonable. When you're down by 30 to 40, you have to win the Iowa caucus at that point. Because if you don't, no one's going to trust you. Be like, wait, you promised a victory here and you got crushed? You couldn't even take second? Why should we support you? Yet, while Haley's first choice support has ticked up, just 9% of her supporters say they're extremely enthusiastic about her candidacy, substantially lower than the enthusiasm for Trump and even DeSantis. And this is going to be the problem for Nikki Haley. Enthusiasm. Like, I'll get to it in a minute, but This enthusiasm gap, I mean, 9% are saying, yeah, we're going to vote for Haley. 9%! And that's the problem Haley has. Even DeSantis supporters, they're excited to vote. Yeah, they're shrinking by the day, but they're going to vote. Hell, of course, Trump voters, they're always excited to vote for Trump. There is an underlying weakness here. Pollster J.N. Selzer said of Haley's standing, if turnout is low, it seems to me that a disproportionate share of her supporters might stay home. According to the Iowa poll, which Selzer has been conducting over the last 3 decades, so she at least knows what she's doing. Trump gets first choice support from 48% of likely caucus goers, followed by Haley at 20%, DeSantis at 16%, and Vivek Ramaswamy at 8%. And these are the changes from month to month. Trump essentially stayed 51-48 within the margin of error. Haley has gone up, DeSantis has gone down, but within the margin of error. And of course, Ramaswamy, he has ticked up. So, Trump is still up by almost 30. I mean, at that point in time, it's like, that's not good that he's still up by 30. I mean, so even if Haley takes second, if she truly loses by 30 to 40 points, I don't see how you spin that other than a historical defeat. I don't think there's ever been a defeat this big in the Iowa caucus before. I think Bush was the largest with like a 10-point win in 2000. Trump's 28-point lead over his nearest competitor is down, though only slightly from the 32-point advantage he enjoyed in December's NBC News poll, which you could say margin of error, statistical noise, nothing really changed. But if his current lead holds on caucus night, and this is what I'm trying to tell people, it will be the largest margin of victory for a non-incumbent competing in Iowa's Republican presidential caucuses. The current record was set by Bob Dole in 1988 with a 13-point victory. So I was wrong about that, sorry. I thought it was Bush in 2000. It was actually Bob Dole. Think about that. That is double the record. And you're going to tell me that he's not going to gain momentum if he does win by that much? Trump's strongest groups are evangelical Christians, 51% of them picking him as his first choice. Registered Republicans, 54%. First-time caucus goers, 56%. And likely caucus goers who don't have college degrees, 59%. And you know what this looks like to me? Someone that could have a vast overperformance. I mean, look at this. 54% Republicans, 56% of first-time caucus goers. He is killing it with caucus goers without a college degree. And this is what I'm trying to tell people. There is, everybody knows this by now, a very bad storm hitting the state of Iowa. It's going to be like negative whatever tomorrow. It's going to be cold. It's going to be freezing. There's blizzards happening right now. And this is where things could get very, very corny. Because you look at the turnout in Iowa. Usually, Trump does the best with higher turnout. That's usually what the case is. Trump usually overperforms with higher turnout. This is a situation where I think if it's very high turnout, he wins by a lot more than expected. But if it's very low turnout, he wins by more than expected. And you want to know why? These numbers right here that I just showed you. He is winning with low turnout voters. And hell, even the high turnout voters, he's winning by a lot more. And Haley's support, and this is the problem with Haley. Look at this. Her only good groups are independents, 33% of them, and those with college degrees. And strikingly, half of Haley's supporters identify as either independents or Democrats, significantly different from the poll's overall makeup, which stands at 69% Republican, nice, 23% independent, and 5% of Democrats among likely caucus goers. So, Haley's coalition, they're Democrats or independents. So if it's high turnout, she does do better than expected. But I think Trump does even better than he's expected to do, so it doesn't really matter. But if it's low turnout, she is screwed. Her votes are Democrats. If they're not going to vote, which they may not even vote at all, there is a good possibility Trump or DeSantis has the biggest overperformance. Hell, look at the enthusiasm gap. Look at this. Extremely enthusiastic. Over 49% of Trump supporters say that. 23% of DeSantis supporters and 9% of Haley supporters. That means, and another point to my theory, if it's very low turnout, if the turnout's crap, like nobody votes, the biggest wins from that, at least margin-wise, will be Trump and DeSantis. Because their voters, they're going to vote no matter what. You look at Haley's supporters, look at this. 12% are non-enthusiastic. 49% are just, we're kind of excited, but not really. That's over half. No, that's over 60% of her support either saying, I don't really care if she wins or not, or like, I may pull up tomorrow. It depends how the weather is. That's the problem for Nikki Haley. And you keep looking at this. 37% of her support could still be persuaded. That's actually more than DeSantis. You keep looking at this and you realize DeSantis could overperform. He could absolutely take second. Haley has demographics that, if it's very low turnout, she is screwed, which is very likely. If it's high turnout, she might do better than expected, but Trump would cruise by a lot more. Funny enough, cruise. But either way, this poll is not good for Haley. Even the pollster said, these numbers are not that good for Haley because you are banking on Democrats who just are going to vote because Orange Man bad and independents. And your voters are not enthusiastic. While Trump supporters, not only are they going to vote, they are all enthusiastic, like, hell yeah, I'm going to vote no matter what. But the voters that he has support from, higher turnout just benefits him. So it's a win-win for Trump, in my opinion, a lose-lose for Haley. She's kind of screwed no matter what happens here, in my opinion. But we got to see what happens. Either way, this is not the best poll for Haley, despite being in second. I would not be that excited if I was a Haley supporter. Because when you look at these numbers, not good. Not good at all for Nikki Haley. Anyways, folks, thank you so much for watching. If you did enjoy this video, smash the like button down below, subscribe, share with your friends, hit that little bell, follow the social media accounts in the description down below, and of course, join the channel today. Thank you so much. Wrap out.